First Light doing security for this fake ass rundown version of Chuck E. Cheese. All I gotta do is keep people out. Might be the easiest money I've ever made in my life. On second thought, this shit wasn't in the employment handbook, bro. I got to go. What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus, and in this video I'm going to be giving y'all my spoiler review for Five Nights at Freddy's. So if you have yet to see this film and do not want to be spoiled, turn back now as this video may not be for you. Please be sure to shoot this video a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. As well as if you happen to be a new viewer coming across this channel, please shoot that subscribe button followed by the bell icon for all content updates to the channel. Okay, everyone, so first thing I want to say is that I went into this film completely blind in terms of not being familiar with the video game. I heard it was a popular one when it was released, but that's literally about it. However, after hearing about the premise of animatronic robots killing people, sounded intriguing to me for the simple fact is that I know growing up as a kid myself, some other kids thought that Chuck E. Cheese animatronic bots were very creepy. So I thought this was an interesting avenue to explore for a film. So how I'm going to do this is in three parts. I'm going to break down what I liked, what I didn't like, and the ending, explain where I obviously discussed the ending and what it could mean going forward. Okay, so I'll start off with the opening scene credits roll. I love how they stay true to their video game roots in terms of the presentation and the score. Felt like you were walking into a fun time and a creepy situation all at once. I'd have to say the highlights of the film for me was the storytelling and the character work done by the actors, as Josh Hutcherson as Mike, Matthew Lillard as Steve/William, Elizabeth Lail as Vanessa, and Piper Rubio as Abby all crushed it in their roles. I talk about the storytelling and writing. I love it for its slow burn and attention to detail in telling Mike's past and present story, how he is forever traumatized by his brother's abduction, and how when he dreams every night he replays that day in his head in search of clues that may reveal the possible identity of who the kidnapper was, as well as showing his battle in the present as he is in a nasty custody battle with his Aunt Jan over his sister Abby, one who he has a hard time communicating with, even causing self-doubt in his mind that he may not be the right one to take care of her, really tapping into the whole I failed to protect and take care of one sibling, how can I rectify that redemption type of story, which ties in really well once everything is revealed and comes to full circle in the end of the film. The character work / portrayal, as I stated before, was really well done. Josh did a really great job of capturing the torment and trauma Mike was and still is going through. Matthew as William Afton, aka Steve Raglan, showed how much great range he has, like we saw in Scream with his iconic Stu Macher character, how one moment he can seem funny and likable, all to then switch on to a more dark, sinister persona, who is fantastic at manipulation. How could you not love the knife wipe done by him in the final act of this film, an obvious reference to his iconic character in Scream, portraying Ghostface. We all know Matthew wants Stu Macher to come back in Scream 7, so that was really cool for them to incorporate that in this film. Elizabeth Lail, who portrays Vanessa Monroe, who happens to be a police officer in the film, but also someone who shares a deeper connection with the former pizzeria, does a great job of telling the backstory of the place while also making you guess whether she's a potential villain or victim in what's been happening. Really enjoyed her acting in this film. Piper Rubio as Abby did a fantastic job playing the role of the somewhat difficult little sister who is socially awkward, so she has imaginary friends to help her cope with her tough upbringing. She's just a kid who's looking to be understood. As for the other characters in this film, such as Aunt Jan, Max, Jeff, Hank, and Carl, I like how though you get minimal screen time of these characters, they serve a purpose, as Jan hired Max, Mike's babysitter, to find anything in his house that would incriminate him so that she can use it against him in the custody battle with Abby, as well as using her brother and friends to trash Freddy's to get Mike fired for the same purpose. They weren't just meaningless on-screen kills. I also love the fact that once Mike starts having his dreams at the pizzeria when he's working overnight, the children that are seen in Mike's dreams are actually the kids whose bodies / souls were placed inside of the animatronics. As much like Mike's brother, these kids were kidnapped in the 80s and unknowingly placed inside of the animatronics, which led to Fazbear's being closed down, due to repeated reported attacks on the security staff at the hands of said robots. This gives Mike a direct connection to Fazbear's and its villain, which culminates nicely when everything is revealed in the end. This connection only gets further heightened when Mike has to bring Abby in for one of his shifts, to where she gets to meet the bots themselves and grows a connection to the point when they offer Mike his old life back in one of his dreams with his brother in exchange to make Abby one of them. If there are going to be any dislikes from me about Five Nights at Freddy's, it is the fact that the film is PG-13, so it mostly consists of kills that happen off of camera, which I felt slightly did hurt the film, as it seemed to have some kills that would have been nice to see actually play out. Hopefully the unrated version shows these kills in their totality. I just felt like it would elevate the film a lot more. I also didn't like how you could easily catch before anything actually starts to happen that Matthew's character Steve/William was our villain. Would have liked to guess a little bit more, but the way they executed how the story plays out, I will tend to give those minor issues a pass on rewatch. In the end, we get to reveal that Steve, the career counselor who set Mike up with the job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, is actually William Afton, the owner and creator of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. But even deeper than that, he is the man who abducted and killed Mike's younger brother all those years ago, as well as abducting the other children in the 80s, as it is him who controls them in their animatronic form. This is also where we get to reveal that Vanessa is his daughter, who has been covering for her dad's deeds for many years, who wants to finally put an end to the madness, even going as far as shooting him, only for her dad to turn the tables on her and stab her, leaving her fate up in the air. However, William's plan for killing Mike and Abby backfire when Mike has Abby draw up a picture showing him as the Yellow Rabbit killing the kids. This realization causes the bots to turn on him, resulting in Cupcake to bite through his suit, causing the gears to pierce into his body. Mike proceeds to grab Abby and Vanessa as the building starts to somewhat collapse and leave, as Afton, still alive, is dragged away by the animatronics. We pick up a few weeks later where Abby seems more socially vibrant at school, and Mike seems to have finally turned a new leaf as well. He stops by the hospital to visit Vanessa, who is in a coma. While telling her he is having a hard time processing what happened, he thanks her and promises her that him and Abby will be there when she wakes up. Mike and Abby then proceed to have a conversation about Fazbear's, as Abby is still connected to the bots and feels bad that there is nobody there to tend or care for them. She asks Mike if they can go back at some point, to where he reluctantly responds, "You never know what may happen," hinting at a possible sequel. This is further implied 2 more times in the final shot of the film, as well as in the post-credit scene, as in the final shot you see Afton, still alive in a Yellow Rabbit suit, reaching for help, before we see the ghost of one of the children close the door. In the post-credit scene, you see the cab driver who was seen briefly earlier in the film off duty, to where someone gets in the car only for it to be the Balloon Boy animatronic that was in a security locker sitting on the seat of the cab. Overall, I give the film a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It is a film I could watch again with no issue. It seems to stuck true to the roots of the video game, while also telling a solid, compelling story that tied in together really nicely. And I'm on board for a sequel or a prequel. I think there are more avenues you can explore that I will touch on in later videos. And given the positive feedback and success of the film so far, I think the chances of a sequel or a prequel are very high. But okay everyone, that is my spoiler review for Five Nights at Freddy's. If you've gotten a chance to watch this film, leave a comment in the comment section below and share your thoughts on how you view the film. And if you haven't watched the film already, but have been keeping up with spoilers, definitely give it a watch. It is worth the time in my opinion. Thank you for watching our Shop 6 Times YouTube Horror Movie channel. I am your host and creator Marcus. Be sure to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon.